Now this is a recent story that I seen that I never heard before, but Suge was being with Misa, Puffy's baby mama.
Okay. You said it's a recent story that you heard, but you did go back a little bit. You went back to, it might even be pre-Pac. It might even be pre-Pac, but like this is like 95. No, yeah, sometime in 95. And so Mary J, though, and Misa was real tight. And so Mary J and Misa was real tight, so they used to always hang around the Mary J and KC, and them. They were, Jodeci or, KC and definitely JoJo was always around us. We went to New York or when they came to LA.
And KC at that time was being with Mary J.
Mary J and KC was together. And not only were they together, they had a baby. Well, no, they didn't have a baby, but they were together.
Right.
And so she was always around. And so, she was coming around and Suge somehow,
How did they meet? Is that how they met?
Oh, yeah. Mary J, just coming around and Mary J made the introduction.
Oh, okay. And then how they just started hooking up? Even after Puffy and they had... So was this before the beef, before the Soul Train Awards?
This was before the Source Awards.
The Source Awards were Suge got on stage?
Yeah, so that's why I know for sure Pac wasn't around yet. So this was before this was before the Soul Train's Music Awards.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This was before the Source Awards.
Okay. And Puffy already had a baby by her.
He already had a baby. I think it was Justin, the son Justin.
Was this before the guy got killed in Atlanta?
This is before Big J got killed.
Big J. I've never heard this before. So could this have been the beginning of the beef?
No.
You don't think Puffy cared about this at all?
No.
Okay.
It was very limited. It wasn't that long. It wasn't a long-term thing. We hooked up with her a couple of times in New York. Matter of fact, one time I stayed in New York and was still around. I think I was dealing with David Kenner on some business, and me and David was still there. And he had me go deliver some money at her house. And so I went and took her some money. And then the other time is one time we went out to New York for something, and her and the son flew back with us to LA, and she was staying out there with us in LA for a bit. And then Puffy Mama actually called. It was just like, hey, Puffy's out here tripping. Matter of fact, I think he split his wrist behind it, tried to commit suicide. They say he split his wrist doing something else, but the rumor that we always got, and what Missy always told us, is this nigga out here, this bitch ass nigga tried to kill himself. But the mama was just like, hey, my son's out there tripping. Would you please send Justin home? Would you please send my grandbaby home? And so eventually, after a week or two, she eventually went home.
And that was the last time you seen her?
That was the last time. I saw her since then. Well, that was the last time.
With Suge?
Correct.
With Suge, okay. How long were they seeing each other? Just a couple months or something?
If that. And that's the art of war. Fuck another nigga bitch.
Yeah. And he brought his son around. Yeah. That was pretty...
Well, that's on her. Ain't no shit. That's on her.
That's pretty bad. Pac ever say anything about this?
No, he knew about it, but that was art of war. He did it with fate. He did it to Biggie with fate.
Okay. I think I seen you had mentioned that you had knew for a fact that Tupac hooked up with Faith. Were you there that night?
I was there in the studio. I don't know if I ever said a fact. All I ever said, and if I did, let me clarify it, is they were sitting in a little, we call it a red room. It's just like a little private room that's no bigger than a bathroom. They had a little couch in there. That's where niggas would go, either whoop on somebody or mainly to go and hook up with a chick. And he was sitting in that room. For some reason, I was going into that room or just checking around, doing studio checks and all. And they were in there, and he was pushing, at that time, her head down towards his genitals. That's all I saw.
You didn't, that's it. You didn't.
That's all I saw.
If she was with it, was she not with it, or?
It didn't appear that it was being forced.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't see her come running out 5 or 10 minutes later.
Oh, okay. Well, and what happened? Was that the only time you seen them that night? Did
That
you
was
see
the
them
only
after
time.
that?
It was the only time. I mean, it was in the studio, but they went back to the studio and stuff.
Well, I think she had mentioned that Tupac, in her book, I believe she mentioned that Tupac called her over to his hotel afterwards or something.
Don't know about
You
that.
don't know
I
about
wasn't,
that?
his primary. I wasn't his security guy. I just hired guys to be his security.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, and it also, what songs did she record when she was
Why they
there?
call you bitch?
Is that the only one?
That's the only one I know of. She was on that song. She was on
Didn't
that.
I
But they wouldn't
believe you
approve
said
it.
in another interview that she was on Hit 'Em Up.
No, I was wrong there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I got those two songs mixed up.
Okay. There's always been rumors about like Tupac always wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
He never wore a bulletproof vest.
I ain't said never, but I probably saw him once or twice just doing an interview that he did with, I think you'll see that interview with Luke from Miami or somebody like that. He did an interview where he had it on. I probably seen him with a bulletproof vest once or twice.
So it wasn't a regular thing for him.
It wasn't a regular thing at all.
So him not.
Y'all tell me. Y'all see him out and about. Show me a picture other than that one time when he was doing an interview with Luke that y'all seen him with a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah. No.
Show me. Y'all see his pictures? Tupac took a lot of pictures. Show me. Tell me. Point it out.
So it wouldn't have been. It would have been normal for him not to wear a vest.
Point it out. Point it out. Show me where he did. Show me where the time when he didn't get killed or didn't get shot in Vegas. There's when him and there's a photo I just posted on Bomb First website with him and Rick James when he was sitting in the audience at the fight. Did he have a vest on then? Show it to me.
Yeah.
Show me.
All right. I don't know if this is true either. I read this in an article. Kadada said she asked him to wear a bulletproof vest the night he got shot. Did you ever hear anything about that?
Never heard that.
You never heard that?
Never heard that, but he had on a tank top, a green tank top. You think he was going to wear? It was 110 degrees.
He was supposed to wear, the story said he was supposed to wear something else, and he was like, nah, it's too hot. I'm just going to wear this jersey.
Exactly. But it's too hot to wear a shirt, but he going to put a bulletproof vest up under it?
Yeah.
Now, hey, that would have been smart business, especially if he came in and told her what had just happened for a woman, your girl, to say that. If I knew that what had happened just happened, the beat down and all of that inside the MGM, I might have stepped up some, precautions and stuff like that. So for her to make that statement, I'm not going to set up here and say she didn't. But the man didn't want to wear a long sleeve shirt. He put on a tank top. You think somebody can talk him into putting on a vest, a bulletproof vest? It was 110 degrees humid that night, and then knowing you're going inside of a nightclub. Don't make sense.
Was there anything security could have did different that night?
Could security
could have been riding in the car with him, or do you think anything like that would have made a difference?
Setting back money back quarterbacking? Yeah, tell him to stay his ass in the hotel. That's about it. Order a Hummer. A bulletproof car. Tell him, oh no, you can't ride like a superstar or a young 25-year-old man. You got to ride like Michael Jackson or a little bitch or something like that in a tanker car with bulletproof vest or bulletproof car. You got to do that. No artist wasn't going to do that. They would have told you, man, get away from me talking that shit. I'm in Vegas. We out here about to have a good time. Yeah. We could money back. Could the Secret Service did anything better for JFK?
Well, in hindsight, it's always...
Hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah.
JFK was in a drop top, 63 with suicide doors, Lincoln Continental. I'm sure now Secret Service would have been like, ever again. Yeah. We live and learn.
Shock G had said at one point Tupac had 4 hits out on him, 2 in LA and 2 in Oakland, and Tupac was like, and he told Tupac, and Tupac looked at him and was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Did Tupac? Were you aware of any death threats or hits out on him when he was with Death Row?
No,
None.
none. I mean, nothing that we would take serious. I've never heard of anybody calling in any threats or anything. But I ain't gonna sit up here and say hit 'em up wasn't out. Hit 'em up was out. You know, when Hit 'em Up came out, we was like, you know, especially during that month, you know, June or May, whenever it came out, we was like, okay, he came hard. You know, because you don't really hear the music as a bodyguard or a security guy until it really get out.
Yeah.
And so when you're like, oh, he's putting it out. This is some dangerous, you know, this is some high stuff he's saying. So we was on point then, but as you do, you got relaxed. Security eased up. And yeah.
So when Hit 'em Up came up, you guys were on high alert.
He was on high alert, you know.
Okay. You guys actually didn't get any death threats or anything?
Anything like
Nobody
that.
called in?
No.
Okay. Was Tupac planning on taking Nas off of Against All Odds?
Yes.
He did. What was that conversation like? What was he?
We was at him and Nas. We had a thing after the MTV Music Awards. It was a big old park next door to wherever I think it was Culver Park. It was a big park, popular park in New York. That was next door to where we had where the award show was held, and the big after party was in the park. So we was over there, and so it was like a run-in with Nas' side of the, you know, his people, and the Death Row and the Death Row East people. That's when you see that, you know, the footage with the Death Row East T-shirts and the Death Row East sign with all those people. So it was a big old incident in the park, and they all came together, but they talked it out like men. Pac turned around, and they worked it out, and Pac turned around to Suge and told him, hey, you know, when we get back to L.A., I'll take the verse off Against All Odds that I said about Nas. But unfortunately, you know, that was a week prior, actually less than that, 5 days prior to him being shot. Never got around to doing it.
Did he ever say anything else about Nas after that?
I think they were cool. After they talked, they were talking about doing some work together or something. They had got cool after that. They worked it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the reaction when you guys found out all of the songs were being leaked after he passed
Oh,
away?
we was sick. I was sick. Back then, see, now motherfuckers leak stuff on purpose.
Right.
Back in the 90s, you treated your music like gold. I mean, you held on to that. You didn't have all these downloads with computers. I mean, most of our listeners and most people listening don't even understand that.
What's a CD?
Yeah, what's a CD? Exactly. But but even CDs, you didn't download. You know, you didn't have the capability of downloading them to the, you know, that was new. That didn't happen until like 98, 99, where you can go on the internet and download it to the CDs and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember the big record companies were suing people that was actually leaking it out to the different sites. They started suing a bunch of people. But my point is, you treated it like gold. You thought you was losing major money when stuff leaked out.
How many songs got leaked?
Over 80 to 90% of his catalog.
Over 80 to 90% of his catalog got leaked? Do you guys have any idea who did it?
I always believe, and we think it's somebody that worked inside the Pacific Archives, which was the place that held all the masters. You know, because everything was back then wasn't on the computers, what they have, Pro Tools and stuff like that. We didn't have that then. We did everything on those big reels. And so somebody had to go in there, get the DATs or get the cassettes and download them.
So somebody did a lot of work.
Somebody did a lot of work to do that.
Wow. And at one point, I guess C Murder had used the whole song?
C Murder, rap. I can't think of the song. I don't know the song offhand right now. But he word for word one of Tupac's songs. And they put it out on No Limit Records.
They actually put it out?
They put it out. It was distributed.
Do you know what album? Do you remember what that would look like?
Man. I don't know any of the No Limits music. I used to think it was a hoax that they were selling that many units. I guess people in the South was buying it and beating it up. Because I knew nobody in California that was riding around bumping on Ice Cream Man or none of that shit.
Was the music copywritten?
It's copyrighted. I'm sure we could have sued or went after them or something, but I'm just saying we never did.
Never wanted to sue.
Yeah,
or nothing?
never did.
Did you guys ever approach C Murder about that or anything?
We never saw him. I think by then he started having his problems. We were dealing with stuff. There was so much going on. I might have seen a cease and desist letter over there or something, a priority or something. But I forget the business on that.